Hi there, this is Patricia Fenty from patriciafenty.com, and in this tutorial I am going to show you how to dot paint this really beautiful gift card. And I'll just bring it a little closer to the camera, and I'm going to show you how you can make this really pretty background and how to create this pattern. And if you're new to dot painting, I do have an introduction to dot painting tutorial, and I'll put the link for that below. And that shows you all the basics that you need to know about dot painting, how to choose your tools, the best paints to use, and some practice techniques to learn the dotting. But this is suitable for beginners, so come along and let's get started. Now here are all the supplies you're going to need. I am using the Americana liquid acrylic paint, and I will put a link to a list of supplies below. You'll need some gesso, some Strathmore watercolor cards, or you can just use some mixed media art paper. These are the DIY dot painting tools. I also have some embossing tools. I have a few paint brushes here. Again, this will all be in the list. Some foam brushes. There's a paint tray, a damp cloth, and you'll also need a glass of water to clean your brushes with. So what you're going to want to do before we get started is use the gesso and paint a coat of gesso on the front and back side of your card surface. And what this does, it prepares the card to hold the paint and also prevent the paper from curling forward. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back and we'll get started. So make sure you let the gesso dry really well before you start painting your background. And I've put all my paint colors out on the paint tray. So you can use a paintbrush or a small foam brush. I like using the foam brush. I find them easy to use. And basically what you're going to do is just paint each of these colors along all the way down. And we'll start with the saffron yellow. And I put a piece of paper towel in between the layers so that you don't get paint on the inside of the card. And so you just brush it on back and forth like this, and then go to the bright orange. And as we blend these warm colors, you don't have to clean your paintbrush. The colors just blend nicely together. This is the coral blush, and basically just doing a paintbrush width across the paper here. And now this is the royal fuchsia. And there we go. And we're going to be doing two coats. So this is just the base coat. Now at this point, we're moving from warm colors into cool colors. So to prevent the paint from going muddy, you can clean your brush in your jar of water and just wash out those warm colors. And then you can just dry it in your cloth. And now you can move on to the cooler colors. So this is the lavender, and there will be a little bit of muddiness that happens, but it's not bad at all. And you can kind of go up into the colors above a bit. We'll do this more in the next layer. Oh, actually, that was the lavender I just did. Rather than doing the Bahama blue, I'm going to use the desert turquoise. I think that's a better transition. And now I'll do the Bahama blue. And The last one is the holly green. And just blend like that. And again, this is just your first layer. So let this dry really well. And then you're going to go back and you're going to do it again. But on the next layer, just blend the colors a little bit more and bring some of the colors up into each other. And so go ahead and do that, and I'll see you when we get back. All right, welcome back. So here I've done my second layer, and I'll just bring it up a little closer for you to see. So what I did is, as I came down with each layer, when I got into the next color, I would just bring it up a little bit higher. And you can see how there's a bit of the fuchsia there and the coral blush, and there's a little bit of purple there, and there's a little bit of a teal here, and a bit of the green into the teal. So in the second coat, you can play around with blending the colors more into your background. So now we're going to paint the stems, and for this I'm using the plantation pine, and you could use burnt umber or any kind of dark brown or dark green for the stems. And I'm using a super fine brush. This is a 0. This is what they call a 1/8. And I'm just going to turn it around so that I can pull the lines down. So we'll just paint the stems in a sort of a arc shape like that. And this is all going to be dot painted over, so you know it doesn't have to be really perfect, but so bring your first line up, and you want to go about 2/3 of the way up for the outside one. And then the next ones you can just start tapering them down a little bit lower and maybe make them a little bit random. Just going to speed it up here. And there, you can see how that's 2/3 of the way up. And so you just want to let that dry really well, and then we're going to start dot painting. So I'll see you in part 2. There you go.